Welcome to Living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection. And in this episode, I'm going to be going over the Tucson Housing Market Report for March 2022. The numbers are out for the Tucson Housing Market Report for March 2022. We're going to dive into those numbers for what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. But the story continues to be low inventory, which is putting upward pressure on prices. And on top of that, consumers are getting hammered with inflation being as high as it's ever been. And then we've got interest rates that have ticked up. We're sitting at about 4.75%, which is up from the lows of about a full percent back in August of 2022. So we've got a lot of things going on. And you would think at some point, just because of gas prices and inflation, interest rates going up, that this market would cool off. But unfortunately, the report that I'm going to go over, especially for first-time home buyers and people wanting to enter into this market, it's not the news that you want to hear. Inventory levels still are as low as they've ever been, and prices are continuing to go up, which I'm going to cover in this month's Tucson Housing Market Report for March 2022. The first number I want to cover is what we call percentage of list, and that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price are home sellers getting? And in a normal market, percentage of list is anywhere from 92 to 97%, meaning if somebody listed their home for $100,000, they're going to get anywhere from $92,000 upwards to $97,000. And over the last 6 months or so, that percentage of list has been right around 100%. So sellers are getting exactly what they're asking for in terms of their list price. And in this month, March 2022, for the Tucson housing market, percentage of list for single family homes was 101.2%. So sellers are getting slightly over their list price on single family homes. And for townhomes and condos, it was 101.8%. So again, in this market, if listing a home properly, you can anticipate that you're going to get right at list price or slightly above the list price when listing a home in the MLS here in Tucson. Now let's dive into what is called month's supply of inventory. And that is, if no other homes were to hit the market today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off? And so for single family homes listed in the MLS, there's 0.7 months of inventory, which is right at 21 days. So if no other homes were to hit the market today, all the single family homes would be sold in 21 days. For townhomes and condos, it's 0.5, which is 15 days. So if no other homes were to hit the market today, townhomes and condos, all the inventory would be sold off in 15 days. And in a normal, healthy market, months of inventory is anywhere from about 45 to 60 days. And, pre-COVID, we were already well below that. COVID hit and it just accelerated a lot of things. But again, month supply of inventory for single family homes, townhomes, and condos. If no other homes were to hit the market today, the entire inventory listed in the MLS would be sold off in 21 days or less. Now let's cover what we call days on market. And that is when you list a home, how long does it take it to go under contract? It's not from the time that you list until the time that it actually closes. It's going under contract is what is called days on market. And in a normal, healthy market, more of a neutral market, days on market is usually between 45 and 60 days. And if you scroll right up above, I've got a link there that I did a video on whether we're in a seller's market, neutral market, or a buyer's market, and what the numbers are for the various markets. But we're definitely in a seller's market, and days on market for single family homes here in Tucson for March 2022 was 22 days. So homes went under contract within 22 days on average. And for townhomes and condos, the average days on market was 14 days. So if you're listing your home, be prepared for things to happen super quick and for you to go under contract within 22 days or less on average. By now, you might be asking, what are home values doing here in Tucson? And they are going up. We've seen double-digit appreciation since COVID hit, And again, we've seen from month to month home values go up. But I'm going to go over the median home sales price rather than the average. I just feel it's a better number. It's a more realistic number, because on the average it could be skewed by a really high sale that actually pushes the number up. So I'm going to cover the median home sales price for March 2022. So for single family homes listed in the MLS, the median home sales price was $371,570, which is up year over year 18%. For townhomes and condos, the median sales price was $249,900, which is up year over year 31.5%. So again, home values have been going up, and keep saying at some point there's going to be a catalyst to change this market. And at this point, not seeing it as of yet. And again, we're seeing upward pressure on home prices. Now I'm going to go over my favorite number, and that's inventory levels, supply and demand economics 101. And in my opinion, inventory levels are the leading indicator to determine what's going on in any market. So for the housing market here in Tucson, normal inventory levels to be more of a neutral market, in my opinion, would be about 2,500 to 3,500 total active listings in the MLS. And pre-COVID, we were already below that, and we were starting to get upward pressure on prices. And then COVID hit, and it just accelerated everything, and inventory levels started to tick down, and they've been continually going down for the last 2 years since COVID hit. But as of this month, we're as low as we've ever been. So single family homes listed in the MLS here in Tucson, March 2022, there's only 869 active single family homes listed in the MLS. And for townhomes and condos, there's only 95 active listings in the MLS. And again, supply and demand, and it's a number you want to keep an eye on. If you see inventory levels start to tick up, it could mean that we could have a change in the housing market. So again, I know it's frustrating out there for first-time home buyers and people wanting to enter into this market, because not a lot of inventory. There's multiple offers coming in. You're competing against other people, and things are happening super quick. So again, inventory levels, leading indicator in my opinion, and something to keep an eye on. People are always asking my opinion of this housing market and what I think about it, and when and if we could potentially cool off. And I wish I had that crystal ball that could answer that question, but I don't. But the one thing that I can say is keep an eye on inventory levels, and if inventory levels start to move up, it could potentially mean that we're starting to see a change in this market. And I know a lot of people are frustrated out there. There's not a lot of inventory. It's super competitive out there, and prices continue to go up. But if you're a new home buyer or a first-time home buyer, somebody buying on an FHA or a VA, I would just encourage you to be patient, maybe save more money so you can weather a storm, because at the end of the day, if home ownership is done the wrong way, it can actually be a burden and a liability. So I would encourage you just to keep saving and be responsible, and just make sure you've got enough money to weather a storm. And in my opinion, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when that will be, I don't know, but at some point there will be a catalyst that will turn this market. And with inflation, gas prices, interest rates going up, you would think at some point this market will slow down. So time will tell, but in the meantime, just be smart, be patient, and do the best you can with the information you have to do what's right for you. Keep in mind, we've got a 16-foot box moving truck. So if you use us to buy or sell a home, you're more than welcome to use our truck. And even after the fact, down the road, if you need to move appliances or furniture or pick something up at Home Depot or Lowe's, you're more than welcome to use our truck. I hope you liked this video about the Tucson Housing Market Report for March 2022 and found it of value. If you did, can you do me a huge favor and give me an internet high five by liking it? And if you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and comment below. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, make it a great day.